Hey, hey, hey! How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? So, I wish I'd had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me. Listen to that again. I wish I had had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me. That is actually one of the biggest regrets. In fact, it is the topmost regret of people who are dying, people who are passing on. I wish I'd had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me. How does that sentence make you feel? I wish I'd had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me. We get so caught up living the life that others define for us. We call it success, but that success definition is one that somebody else defined. The point of this here is to talk you through what I call the deliberate millionaire pathway to getting everything that you want. But in order for you to get what you want, you have to kind of walk away from what others want of you. You have to actually be true to yourself. And that is one of the most difficult things to do because we are literally trained to forget who we are, to be whoever others around us want us to be. And that cannot be allowed to continue. We are spirit-driven souls. We know that we're here for a reason. There's a feeling inside of you that you want more. You want to be more alive. You want to experience more. You sense there's more potential available to you. There's more prosperity available to you. There's more, but you get caught up in life and all the things happening. And oh my gosh, right now at the time of this recording, all kinds of things are happening. Depends on where you live, I guess. But it's like you get caught up in all of that you start to forget that this is your life. The top regret of people dying literally is that they wished they'd had the courage to live true to themselves rather than doing what others expected of them. Are you aware? Are you deliberately living your life? Are you deliberately designing your life? Or are you continually going along with what others demand, desire to tell you is the best way forward? Say hello as you come on board. I want to speak to you specifically, you. Now this is it. There to me to get every single thing you want. Hey, Fathmo, lovely. Thank God I walked away from what others want me to be. Yes, we all have to make that decision. We all have to make that decision. The affirmation I'm going to sing for us this week, our affirmation for this week is, I am creating success on my own terms. I am fulfilled and free. I live true to myself. I remember who I am. I am powerful. I am capable. I live true to myself. Okay? Which for some of you, when you say that, I live true to myself, you might even think that it's kind of selfish. But it's not. The only way you are going to be of the most use to anybody on this planet is by you choosing to live true to your, what I call, true design. But I'm going to talk you through 4 keys to get everything you want out of life if you are willing to do these things. But we'll sing the affirmation to begin with. I'm Rosemary, Nonny, by the way. I am the Prosperity Minister. I support you in leaving behind the stories of the past, the limiting stories of the past, the pain of the past, and rise victorious into your true design life, which I do completely believe is one of freedom, of fulfillment, of financial abundance, and of unconditional love. A love-drenched life if you are willing. Because I always put that caveat there, if you are willing. Most people will say with their mouth that that is the kind of life they want to live, but when I look at their actions, I can tell it's not really. It's not really. Most people, as I've already said, are going about life trying to satisfy everybody else except themselves. Can I just say to you right here, you are worthy of your own affection and your own attention. You are worthy of your own affection and your own attention. Please hear me on that, because some of you all think it is spiritual. Think that the divine asked you to ignore who you are to favor everybody else. You know everybody else's drama more than you know your own. Okay? And I know it feels like you're here to serve people in that way. And yes, I'm calling you to servant leadership. Absolutely I am. But first and foremost, who the frick are you? Do you know? When last did you really take time to actually ask yourself, who am I? Who are you? Do you know? I am creating success on my own terms. I am fulfilled and free. I live true to myself. I remember who I am. I am powerful. I am capable. I remember who I am. I live true to myself. I am creating success on my own terms. I am fulfilled and free. I live true to myself. I remember who I am. I am powerful. I am capable. I remember who I am. I live true to myself. True to myself. That is our affirmation. And I want you to sing that and remind yourself, remember who you are. You are powerful. You are capable. If you will step into it. And the truth of the matter, I know that for most of you, you've created something. You've created things in your life that are not, it's not all bad. It's not all bad. It's just not necessarily completely in your true design path. So let's talk about these 4 keys here. Let's talk about these 4 things that would support you in stepping onto your true design path and stepping into a free, fulfilled, financially abundant, and love-drenched life. Number 1. And this applies regardless of what is happening in the world, okay? This applies regardless of what is happening in the world. And in fact, if anything, you need to rise above whatever is happening in the world, because there's always rumors of this and happening and something's close to home, something's far away. There's always drama. There's always something. If you are going to make the most of this life experience that you are experiencing, you cannot be swayed every time something starts to happen. You can't be swayed. You have to realize that you are bigger than the picture. You are literally bigger than the picture. You are powerful. You are capable. You don't have to be drawn into the crazy. Okay? I know it's sometimes easier said than done. I get that. But we still got to do it. Number 1, connection with spiritual people. Do I even have to tell you this? And yet I know that some of you would say, when I say connection to the divine is what I'm talking about, connection to source. That is our power source. Now, a lot of us, if you're anything like me, you grew up knowing that logically. You grew up knowing that with your mouth. You grew up kind of knowing that on a Sunday or a Friday or whenever your day of whatever is. You knew that, but somehow you were convinced that is one little box over here. It does not affect the rest of my life. Well, I like to say to my clients, it is like an electric car. You can go so far on your own until at some point you run out of steam and you need to be plugged in. And we as human beings, however, we can go longer than an electric car. So, even when you have run out of juice, you can keep walking. So you see lots of people who are walking dead. They lived 30 years of their life, and then the rest of their life, that might even be very long, was really just literally a repeat of that 30th year. Forever. And then they died. So really they died at 30. But they kept walking, so people thought they were still alive, but really they were not. They kind of, at some point, something happened at 30 where they suddenly thought, well, it seems I'm an adult now. I kind of need to just give up and carry on. And that is, and this even happens to people who would say that they're religious, or people that say that they're spiritual. So when I talk about connection to source, it is a living, dynamic connection that actually impacts every single area of your life. Because frankly, who knows better than the energy that you came from, what you're here to do, who you are here to be, what you came for. You need that connection. It isn't a religious thing. You don't have to go to no temple anywhere or anything to perform any. No. You simply need to be intimately connected to this power source, because it's the only way that you're going to make the most of this life experience. You are so in the middle of it that if you don't have connection to something that is higher and above it, you will get caught up and you start making decisions based on your own experience or the experience of people around you. None of you have that much experience, okay? None of y'all know that much. And so you just keep repeating the same cycles over and over again, wondering why you can't break free. That's why. That's one of the reasons why. Number one, you need to connect to source. I teach my people when people come to work with me, that's one of the first things I'm teaching them, exactly how to hear back from the divine, how to tap into that power and actually start to live from that intuitive connection. Okay, and let me just even mention right here, you know, one of the first things you want to do if you're coming to work in my world, or if you're coming to be in this deliberate millionaire, I call it the deliberate millionaire pathway to peace and plenty. Okay, because I believe it is your divine right to live, to have a life of inner peace where your mind is not all over the place all of the time, and you also have plenty in all areas of your life. I think the inner world can be prosperous and the outer world can be prosperous. I think that is your divine right if you are willing to claim it. And these things that I'm talking you through right now will help you to claim it. Number one, as I say, is connection. Connection. If you're coming to work with me in the Deliberate Millionaire pathway, then it would be that you start with the abundance library. Message me the word abundance and I'll tell you more about that, but I'll tell you more about that later. For now, connection to source, whatever that looks like for you. You need a living, dynamic connection. It's not based on some book somewhere. It's not based on what some person told you some time ago. It is that you have a living, every day, every moment connection. From that connection, you start to create your life, okay? That to me is the foundation of everything. I used to not say it so clearly, but I realized that I'm doing people a disservice if I'm not just blunt and plain with you. This connection is not because I know a lot of you will be listening to me saying, oh, I know God, I know this. No. I was that person too. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm going deeper than that. Number two is what I call calling. When I talk about calling, then people start thinking, well, when I say calling, people seem to think that it's just your work. Yes, your work, of course, it takes up a good proportion of your waking hours. That is important. What is it that you're here to do? What would you like to do? Yes, your work is important, but it's not just your work. To me, your birthright is empowering relationships. What do you want your relationships to look like? You need to get clear on that. What do you want them to feel like? What kind of people do you want to hang around with? Are they the people in your life? And do you need to make different decisions about your relationships? Whatever, getting clear on what relationships you want in your life. Number two, your work, of course, it is quite important because, yes, as I said, you spend quite a lot of time doing it. So frankly, you want to make sure that you enjoy it. And some of y'all, if you're anything like me, I became a pharmacist literally because that was what my parents decided was wise for me. I was either going to be a doctor, an accountant, a pharmacist, or maybe a lawyer. I chose pharmacy in the end. I chose pharmacy out of those that very small little and I'm not no issues here. It served me well for a while. It just wasn't the thing that I knew that I was called to do. But I could have gone along like most people do for the rest of my life, saying, well, I have to do this. I am an adult. I have responsibilities. I have to do this. And I almost did. It was bankruptcy and depression that kind of changed my course. I went bankrupt. I got depressed for 4 years. I suddenly realized I'd hit rock bottom anyway. So maybe there was an opportunity here to try something different. And so guess what? I did. Okay? I tried the thing that I've been dreaming about and all of that. But it took me a while to get to this place where I've always wanted to be. But I kept telling myself it was not possible. It was not possible. Well, it was only not possible because I never even tried. So the truth of the matter for most people is that you're not doing the work you want to do. You don't do work you love, any of that stuff, because simply you just not done it. You haven't done it. For whatever reason, you haven't done it. Now you can tell yourself all kinds of reasons like, oh, it wasn't responsible. It wasn't the thing I should have. No. You just haven't done it. That's all. That is literally it. You can decide differently at any moment. That's number two, is your work. What do you want for your work? What would actually feel really good to do every single day? What would make you wake up in the morning and think, you know what, I get to do that work. This is it for me. What would it be for you? What of your health? Although sometimes health is so related to what you make yourself do, because lots of people are forcing themselves to do work that they don't want to do. They get ill. Their bodies get tired because it's like it takes a lot of energy to put yourself on a path you don't want to be on and stay there. Hey, Sonia, I'm glad that it's speaking to you, my love. It takes a lot of energy from your body for you to stay on a path that you don't want to be on. It really does. And yet people do that to themselves every freaking day for 40, 50, 60 years, complaining about the boss and complaining about the people they have to deal with, complaining about the work, but never making the decision to do anything different. Is it any wonder people get sick? Is it any wonder people get all kinds of things? So yeah, your health is very much tied with and relationships. Oh my gosh. If you've chosen to have crazy relationships in your life because you're telling yourself you have no choice, of course it's going to take a toll on your health. Of course it is. And of course there's just the direct, what are you actually putting inside of your body? And all of that stuff. So again, what do you want your body to feel like? What do you want to look like? How do you want to? Because I have this vision in my, and I keep telling my husband, this is it, honey. We're here till we're 120 and we're dying within hours of each other, and we're going to be healthy. We're going to be strong. I call it slim, sexy, strong and healthy. That is what I am. Till I'm 120, we're going to go to sleep in the night, and then we're going to just wake up on the other side together and carry on, basically. Because that's what I've decided. That's what I've decided. I will not be a burden to anyone. I have decided that that's what my health is going to look like. What have you decided? Have you decided? Are you being deliberate about it, or you just, oh, well, bodies fall apart. What can I do? And my father had diabetes anyway, so, it's very likely I too have to get it too. Really? According to what? Why? Because science told you? Think again, honey. You get choice over that. What do you want your health to look like? Fourth thing is your money. People sometimes put money and work together. Sometimes it's a completely different thing. In fact, no. Most of the time it is a completely different thing, especially if you're spiritual. You have different stories around money than you do around work. So what do you want for your money? I love it. I love it. I'm glad you love it, Sonia. What do you want for your work? What do you want for your money? Sorry. What do you want for your money? Now, a lot of us spiritual people, money itself is not stimulating enough. You need to know what you want the money for. So that's all part of calling. All part of calling. You need to start looking at all of these areas and think to yourself, what do I want and how much is it going to cost me? That's your money. That's your money number. Okay, so you get clear on that. That is your calling. That's number 2, calling. So first one is connection to source. You absolutely need it. Number 2 is you need to know what it is that you want. The divine is not holding anything back from you. Most people just don't even know what they want. That is the problem. That is a big problem. They don't know what they want. And so then they're praying and hoping that somehow life will be kind of good, and then life is kind of good. and they're wondering, why isn't it better? Because you didn't ask for better. I haven't got to the 3rd point. That's why. This is going on longer than I thought. Number 1 is connection. Number 2 is calling. So calling is all areas of your life. Number 3 is creation. No, it's not. It's clarity. Looking at my notes here. Number 3 is clarity, internal clarity. If you've been in my world for any length of time, I even did a program called Win the War Within. Most of y'all are in battle with yourself. Most of you are there is division inside of you, okay? It's like the world has taught you and trained you and conditioned you to feel one way. There's this part of you that wants to go that way, that is like, no, but this is my path. This is what I want. This is how I should be. But the world has told you, no, you can't do that though. You can't do that. You have to go this way, and you're torn. You are torn. This can happen in relationships. So you need clarity around your relationships. And a lot of people don't give themselves permission to let's be very blunt, dump certain relationships that are really not serving you, because you tell yourself you have to, and it makes you a nice, good person. But actually what happens is that your energy gets caught up in crazy relationships that do not allow you to then focus on your own actual vision. So there you are. Maybe you did get clear on all the different things that you wanted in your life, but because you're so caught up in that drama over there, you don't have time or energy or brain space to even start thinking about what can I do to move my life forward. So that's relationship. You need to be clear in your relationships, the relationship with yourself, relationship with other people out there. You need to be clear. Okay, there's male-female alignment, which I won't even go to because that's a whole thing right there. The left brain, right brain, making sure that they're working together rather than working against each other. Most of us have been trained to kind of really give attention to our left brain. So it's all about action, work harder, da-da-da-da-da. That's why you forget about the fact that connection and intuition is so important. And so you keep living at this level that is lower than what you're capable of. Okay, so that needs to be sorted out. That's all part of clarity. What else? Forgiveness of self, forgiveness of others. That's another thing that causes. Oh, forgiveness is such a big one. Such a big one. I keep telling my daughters, you're not doing it for anybody else. You're doing it for yourself. You're doing it for your own freaking self. Basically, it doesn't matter what they're doing. What it's you. It's for your own sanity, because you need all of your energy to go towards creating the life that you desire. You want to get everything you want. Focus your energy on it. If all of your energy is all over the place because you're angry with that person and resentful of the other person, and that boss said that and the other person said the other, and that partner left you 3 years ago or 20 years ago, and you still somehow have him in your heart somewhere, or her, and all of that stuff is eating your energy. Yeah, clarity is number 3. Absolutely. It's eating your energy. So connection, calling, clarity. What else? Beliefs about the divine. Oh, beliefs about your source. Oh, people think that because some person demonstrated that the divine, demonstrated, maybe they called it Christianity or they called it some religion or the other, but actually it was quite hateful to you. But now you've made a decision that was what, well, in fact, they probably told you that that's the divine. That the divine's law says that this is the way I have to treat you and this is what has to happen. And so you took it on to mean that this is what God thinks of you. And that gets in, as I've already said to you, connection to source is critical. If you have some kind of issue inside of you that says the divine is not good, I promise you life will not be good. Because the divine is life. If you have a false idea, I'm glad you agree, Sonia. If you have a false idea of what the divine is because of what some person, somebody, somewhere, said, honey, you need to fix it. It is not about that person. It's not even about the divine. It's about you. Do you want to experience life in all its fullness? If you do, fix it. You need to get it sorted. That's all part of clarity. What else is part of clarity? There's lots of things part of clarity, but the ones that I actually wanted to mention was, and the other one is, are you worthy of the best? Are you worthy of it? Are you actually worthy of the best? Do you feel worthy of the best? Because I might ask you, are you worthy of the best? And in fact, some of you, deep down inside, you don't believe you are. The only way you feel that you'll be good enough to get good stuff is to work yourself to the ground. And that is literally what you do. You work yourself to the ground, and by the time you even experience any kind of good stuff, because you'll always get what you expect, okay? If you think that you have to work yourself to death in order to create wealth, you will create wealth and then you will die. Literally. Because that is what you expected and that is what you got. So some of you all are doing that, and some of you are, you just, I don't know, some parent may have said to you that you're not good enough or something, and to this day you're still living from that lie. You need to sort it. That's number 3. That is part of clarity. That's part of clarity. And there's so many different areas. There's so many, we human beings can be, this is all supposed to be simple, but we human beings are so complicated. Things get all mixed up and mashed up and oh my gosh, and we need to start clearing this stuff, which we do in connection with the divine, okay? Which of course, if one of your issues is that there's an issue with the divine, how are you going to do that? Basically, so can you see how it can sometimes get all mixed up and mashed up, and some of y'all are working hard and you're not getting where you want to go because of this stuff. And if you're anything like I used to be, you don't even want to look at this stuff because you're telling yourself it's not that important. You're telling yourself, oh, I just need to work harder. How much harder can you work before you finally realize this is not working? Because I got there. That's why I'm talking about this stuff to you guys. If I can help you see faster than I did, oh my gosh, you can move forward faster. Number 4, the 4th key here to living a successful life true to yourself is creation. So there's connection. I like all my C's, okay? Connection, calling, clarity, and creation. What is creation? This is where you actually take the action. This is not step by step because all of this stuff has to happen at the same time, okay? So this is where you take action. But it's not just, oh, I'm just going to follow A plus B, they always equals C, because you already know that actually just because you followed the rules according to whoever gave them to you, it doesn't mean that you've actually got the result that you thought you would get. Why? Because each person's path is unique. This is about you living true to yourself. And the only way you can do that is in connection to the divine, being able to hear the intuitive nudges coming through to you. Now, I know not everybody, anyway, I'm speaking to you guys, and we do speak about the divine, so, I'm not speaking to everybody. I'm speaking to you. We know that we need this connection with the divine, and we need it also because we want to be able to hear wisdom that goes beyond our own experience, okay? That goes beyond our own experience, because again, as I said this earlier, if you try to live only from what you know to be true based on your physical reality, you will be limited, because you only have 30 years of experience, 40. Even if you mixed it with your parents, that's still 100 years maybe. But you know what? There is wisdom that goes way beyond that. And when you live above the chaos and the crazy, you see things clearer than when you're in the middle of it, maybe even sucked into fear and all the things happening and all the drama and the nonsense. How can you see clearly? How can you see clearly? How can you make bigger decisions? There's so much information in the world. You can't even assimilate all of it in order to make a really wise decision on your own. You just can't. And so that's why, again, people will then, oh, well, it must mean that this is as far as I can go and just settle into it. I say no. I say there's more available to you if you will do the work to create it. Well, yeah, do the work. Yeah, there is work involved. Absolutely. It's just sometimes people use the word work because we've all been brought up to think work as some horrible thing. It's not. It's supposed to be a joyous thing. You expressing yourself. Of course it's work, but it's good work. It's lovely work. It feels good to you. It energizes you. You feel great when you do the work that is your true design work. You really do. It's like, I'm going to come away from this and I'm going to feel energized. Even right now, the fact that I'm doing this, it's like, yes, I am on purpose. I am on my path. This is me. It feels good. I feel myself getting younger. Okay? So those are the 4 keys. Let's go over them again. Connection to source. You have to listen to all of this again with all the explanations. Connection to source, calling, getting clear on what your calling is in all areas of your life. Okay, so you know what you want. You know what you want. You are the one that determines what it is that you want. Because sometimes religion tells you that you kind of have to wait and see what the Lord is going to give you and tell you where to go. But He's waiting for you to say, what do you want? It's always based on what you want. So get clear on that, which because you've given it up, ages and ages ago, you somehow thought you couldn't get what you want, you have to do what everybody else expects of you. You stopped listening to yourself. Again, I say, you are worthy of your own affection and your own attention. Come on, look inside. Number 2, so that's number 2. Connection, calling, clarity, internal clarity. You need to win that war within you. And number 3, creation. This is where you actually manifest the things that you've created within you. You start to bring them out to life because you're taking physical action. You're turning what is inside of you into something physical. You see it in your hand, you feel it and touch it because you listen to the intuitive guidance based on what is it that you want, connected to source, cleared all the stuff in between. You now manifest the life that you desire. Those are the 4 keys. I truly, completely believe that every single person, I don't care where you are on the planet, you can get everything that you want out of life. If you are willing. And this, again, it's not just give mouth service to being willing. It is literally being willing to look inside, clear the nonsense, connect to source, even when everybody tells you that you're being stupid and crazy. Sometimes you have to do counterintuitive things. So as in literally, no, it's counterintuitive. It's ultimately you have to go against the trend around you. People will be going left and you will be the one random person going right. And you'll be wondering, am I crazy? Yeah, you're a little crazy, that's fine. But you know what? You're crazily right for you. And as you continue along that path, some of those people that went left will start to say, hey, that person seems to be doing better. How did they do it? They'll forget that they were insulting you when you were going right, of course. But that's it. But we are called to be leaders. We are called to be way showers. And sometimes that does mean turning your back on the crowd. Being the one that does the crazy random thing that everybody thinks you're crazy for. And some of y'all are already doing that, but you feel as if you're doing something wrong. Let me be the one that encourages you and says, honey, no, you're not. Because I lived feeling like the wrong person for a very long time. There was no one to tell me until I went to find people to support me. I started working with coaches and all of that stuff in order to actually finally realize there's nothing wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with me. I just want so much more than people are willing to settle for. There's nothing wrong with you. You just want more than others are willing to settle for. You're not willing to settle, and so that makes you feel wrong. You aren't wrong. Okay, 4 keys. Again, connection, calling, clarity, creation. That is the deliberate millionaire pathway to peace and plenty. Start to apply it to your life. Start to apply it to your life. Sometimes, yes, the transition feels challenging. But you know what? Life is challenging. And for a lot of people, their challenges, the pain they're going through is never going to end, because the only way it can end is to take drugs or to eat too much food or to distract themselves with entertainment, so they stop thinking about it. Whereas for us, any challenge we go through is temporary, because we are breaking through to the next level. We are breaking through. So yeah, sometimes it feels as if you're birthing pains. It's okay. You are breaking through. Okay. This is it. For me, for you, whatever. At this, to get on this path, because yes, I've given you the 4 keys here. To get on this path, I would highly recommend that you come into the Abundance Library. Why? Because I have been walking this path for a while. If this resonates with you, I've been walking this path for a while. I've learned many, many lessons. I've transitioned from being a pharmacist, doing everything that other people wanted me to do, still feeling like the black sheep of the family, still feeling wrong, still feeling like I'm successful, but I don't feel successful, still feeling yuck. I've transitioned from that to doing only things that I want to do. And anything that I'm still doing that I don't want to do, I assure you, I'm easing it out of my life, basically. I've transitioned to living in my true design space. I do wake up feeling amazing. And I create wealth doing what I love to do. It's more than replaced my pharmacy income. If money is not the only thing for us, but it is quite important. Of course, we need to eat, no doubt about it. I truly, truly believe it is possible for every single person. I've worked with others to support them in moving forward as well. The Abundance Library allows me to put all different kinds of different programs around spiritual growth, around business growth, around personal growth, all the lessons that I've learned. I put them into programs. I stick them into the Abundance Library. You can get them one by one if you want to, but I suggest highly that you take a 30-day immersion into the Abundance Library, where you'll immerse yourself, just listen to something from the library. There's like 100 programs or more, because I'm always creating stuff. I'm seeking to continue to everything I learn to put into some kind of a program, into an audio, into a video, put it into the library, or sell it on its own, okay? Because you can buy stuff on their own, but it will definitely add up to a heck of a lot more than what you pay. To me, this is your step 1 onto the deliberate millionaire path to peace and plenty. It's your what's the word? Your first experience of what it's like to be a deliberate millionaire. Okay? And I wanted to make it accessible to anybody wherever you are on the planet. So I priced it crazy amazing. Crazy amazing. Even some of those programs, some of the programs you would buy individually are more higher priced than the price of the whole collection. Because I want you to experience this, because I want you to be empowered, because I want you to know what is possible for you, because I want to immerse you in a different way of thinking, because I know that every day, every moment of every day, you are immersed in an environment that generally tells you to stay the same, to live limited, you can't have more, it's greedy, and na. Well, I want to immerse you in a different way of thinking, a different way of being. If you've been in my world for any length of time and you like and you resonate with the work that I do, then the Abundance Library is the place to start. I say it enables you to leave behind the pain of the past. Well, that's what I do too. Leave behind the pain of the past, rise victorious in your true design life. All you need to do is listen. All you need to do is listen to stuff. Anybody can listen to stuff. Or you pick something every day, you just listen to it. You can have it on your phone, listen to stuff. Just all. That's all. You can do that. For 30 days, come and immerse yourself. Message me the word abundance if this appeals to you. Because yes, you can take those 4 keys and do something with, but then you'll be dragged into some person's drama over there, and then something there, and then something there, and then that's it. The next year, you're still in the same place as you were, or even worse off than you are right now. Are you ready to rise victorious? Are you ready to awaken to who you really are? Because some of y'all have been feeling called to something more. This is step 1. Message me the word abundance. I will get the link over to you. You get to choose at the moment one of 3 streams. It's either the money edition, where you're learning how to manifest money, okay, and you get to keep that program forever. Or it's the easy success edition, where you're learning how to connect to the divine and stay connected all the time and work out all the crazy blocks you have. Hey Sonia, I'll get the link to you soon. It's either that, or it's I just added the Radiant Health edition. I'm hoping to do a relationship one as well soon. So you can follow any of those editions. Those programs that you get as part of the edition you choose will last for 28 days or so. And you get 30 days in the library. You listen to anything in there. So you listen to what you're doing on the course that you've chosen. And you also just listen to something in the Abundance Library. That's all. That's all, guys. It's not hard to do. It's not hard to do. In 30 days' time, when the rest of the world is being cray-cray and wondering what's happened, and they planted seeds of fear all over themselves and wondering why they're reaping the harvest of fear, you could be in a completely different place. Because you chose to step away from the crowd, to turn your back on the crowd, and step onto your true design life. Into your true design life. Are you ready for this? Okay, so message me the word abundance. Share this with someone else. That would be awesome if you can. Or tag somebody in. My mission is to reach at least 334,000 spirit-driven people who are ready to make their dent on the planet, who are ready to live into their true design, who are done with being limited. We're created in the image and likeness of the divine. We're not born to be limited. That's why you feel that inside of you. So you ready? Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Remember the affirmation. I am creating success on my own terms. I am fulfilled and free. I live true to myself. I remember who I am. I am powerful. I am capable. And I live true to myself. Yes! You are helping us more than you know. Oh, Lord, that is my deepest desire. When people say that to me, I just want to cry every time, because the fact that I get to do this, I didn't even think that it was possible. But as I said, finally I said yes to me. And that's all I'm asking you to do as well, guys. Say yes to you. Say yes to you. You're saying yes to everybody else. And you're saying no to yourself. And I'm saying, come on, girls, guys, whatever, you have to start by saying yes to you. It's only when you are living in your true design that you can support the world in the ways that you dream of and all of that stuff, and even just you being all of you, you will not be able to help impacting other people around you. You could literally change the trajectory for your family. Literally, generations coming behind you, because you made the decision to become deliberate about your life. Everything starts to change. Sometimes we don't realize the impact we could have. I say yes to you, okay? Okay, I'm going to stop or else I'll go on forever. Message me the word abundance if you want to hear more about the Abundance Library. You can go and have a look at it. I exhort you to join. The fear will take you over when you go and look at the page. You start thinking, do not be that person anymore. For me, it took bankruptcy, it took depression, and having my 3 children for me to finally realize it's on me to make different decisions. And I went and found help. Immediately found help and paid out a heck of a lot of money. That's another reason why I make my things so accessible, because it's not easy to pay out a lot of money when you really don't have any, because I was just coming out of bankruptcy. But I knew that something had to change. So it was like, I don't care. I have to do something different. And so if it means that I have to get myself back into debt, then I have to make a commitment to myself that I'm coming back out again. But you don't have to do that because I've made it incredibly available to you if you are willing. If you are willing. Okay. Oh yeah, go and listen to my album. Absolutely, man. Listen to it. Okay, my loves, I'm gonna go now. Okay, message me the word abundance if you want to hear more about the Abundance Library, and also share this with somebody else or tag somebody else in. That would be so helpful to the mission. Much amazing love. Bye. 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 Bye.